Hey, what's up, everyone? Today, just wanted to cover Mayweather Promotions not spending the necessary money or the money needed to buy Gervonta Tank Davis quality opponents. I made a video where I'm talking shit about Gervonta Tank Davis being a pound for pound fraud. A lot of that came about because of Sean Porter making him, calling him the number one rated fighter, and him also not. And the problem with that was that he said Duran and his boots was overrated, and I was like, how can you have to have the same energy towards Gervonta Tank Davis? My feelings did change about that a little bit within the last few minutes. One of the things that I started I'm releasing a video on it, but one of the things that I also took into consideration was that Gervonta Tank Davis is 5'5", and everyone else has them beat by at least 5 or 4 inches. And so that makes me favor him a lot more now, surprisingly. So the guys that got pissed off at me for making that video, they're probably still going to be pissed off. Because they can't be pissed off at me anymore, I guess. Because I appreciate Tank a little bit more now. But it really doesn't matter. But yeah, that's pretty much. I'm also going to add a clip of Ellerby where he gets asked by Fight Hype regarding when they were going to see a fight with any of the top guys like the Haney's and who else was it? Haney's, Ryan Garcia, and any of the other guys. And Ellerby just started backtracking and saying that that Pitbull Cruz was a good fighter and maybe even better than some of those other guys. But in terms of Gervonta Tank Davis, it doesn't look like he's going to have really good opponents for the next few years, and that's really not good for him. He really should. It looks like, just boxing in general. You had Terence Crawford sue Bob Arum for not marketing himself right, and don't you see the same thing happening with Al Haymon right now? So these guys, they're taking advantage of their fighters. You have one guy that sued him and said that he was racist, and then you have Al Haymon treating his own fighters in a way that's undeserving for them. Floyd never had trouble getting quality opponents or the right type of opponent that would skyrocket him into fame. He always had good opponents that got him the attention that he needed, and all of a sudden that Gervonta Tank Davis is trying to grow his career, he's not getting the opponents. And what people aren't noticing is that, I made a video and I was unappreciative of Gervonta Tank Davis because I was uneducated. Now, after learning this, how many other people that are uneducated are looking at him as a hype train, and it's not even his fault. I think Tank's also said in some of his videos, I'll fight with. I mean, he's being paid by these guys. He's not gonna get on live TV and start talking shit about them, unless he wants to stop getting paid. But it's a messed up situation, and in part, I wouldn't be surprised if Floyd's kind of jealous of Tank in the sense that he doesn't want him to. Because if you think about it, what if they had already paid for all of the top fights for Tank? He would already have fought beat Haney, and beat all these other guys. Let's say he would have beat all of those guys. He would beat. Let's say he's undisputed, and then, dude, like, people wouldn't even care to talk about Floyd. I mean, people would be talking about, like, hey, they'd be comparing him to Floyd. I mean, the guy's already just 5'5". But he doesn't have huge legs. I doubt he would be able to go to 147. I think that's too big for him because he's kind of small on his lower body. But still, nonetheless, he's still. I think he's still fighting at his weight. It's still impressive. I think it's still impressive. But yeah, I'll show you the clip of where Ellerby starts talking about, he doesn't have money for that, and I'll put together some other videos where I find that he where it states that they're not going to be fighting anyone of importance in the next 2 years or something like that. I believe that's what I remember. So I'll look for that video and I'll post it for you. But yeah, in terms of Gervonta Tank Davis, just forget about that guy's career. They already stated they're not fighting anybody with the real name out there. They don't have the money, and barbershop conversations, and look the guy up on YouTube. Really knowledgeable guy. It looks like he's well connected and has inside sources and has been in the boxing world for a long time. And he says it himself, and says that they just don't. Mayweather Promotions just doesn't have the money, or it looks like Haymon's keeping the money. Something's going on over there, some type of fraud. I'm not even going to pretend to know exactly what's happening in an industry that I'm not even in, but it's the first time that you see a high caliber fighter, or a high caliber fighter and a very talented fighter being misused and being kind of not investing in him. It's like you don't buy a Mercedes and buy cheap tires for it. You know what I mean? So they're cheaping out on him. In other words, that's pretty much what they're doing. But I'll play the clip, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And please like and subscribe. And that's it, man.
Turnout for him. A couple fights in, 2 fights this year. 2022, is this going to be the year we get the big fight though for Tank? Maybe the Ryan Garcia, the Devin Haney's. What do you see for him?
Well, any fight that Tank fights in is a big fight. And no disrespect, Mike, but the guys that you guys say are the big fights, they're not big fights. Tank Davis is the cash cow in the division, and he showed you again tonight, come out west and, another sellout. And again, there's levels to what he's doing. But again, we're going to continue to fight the top guys out there. And everyone just have to keep on leveling up.
We'll agree that Tank Davis is definitely the biggest star in the division. But surely a fight with Ryan Garcia or Devin Haney was way bigger numbers than a fight with Cruz. Now, I'm not saying this wasn't a good event. It was. But I'm saying next year. I would
love to see Tank fight the biggest names that are out there, and whoever continues to prove themselves. But the guys that you say, not you personally, but they say who are the best guys out there. Like, for instance, I think Isaac Cruz is better than some of these guys that you're talking about. Just because he doesn't have a big name, how do you think he would have did against a Ryan Garcia, for an example, tonight? There you go. But to answer your question, whatever the fans want, that's what we're going to give them. But we're going to do it on our terms. And I'm going to continue to say that, on our terms. We're not going to go out there, again, and overpay a fighter just because y'all say he's a big name fighter. It don't work like that. The business don't work like that. We're not in the business of fucking off money like some of these other promoters.